After years of watching slot players, the good ones, the ones who always seem to have fun and stretch their money, I've noticed something fascinating. They all avoid the same 7 types of machines, not because they're superstitious, but because they know something most players don't. And before you think this is about beating the system or some gambling secret, it's not. This is about playing smarter, so your entertainment dollar lasts longer and you have more fun. The casinos design certain machines to be attractive, exciting, and irresistible, but experienced players walk right past them. Why? Because they understand something about how these machines work that changes everything. Today, I'm going to show you exactly which 7 types of slot machines the pros avoid, and more importantly, why. By the end of this video, you'll know how to spot these machines from across the casino floor, and you'll understand the simple math that makes all the difference. This isn't about being scared to play. It's about being informed so you can make better choices and have more fun with your money. Let's dive in. Machine type number 1, airport and convenience store slots. Let's start with the machines that even casual players have heard warnings about: airport slots and convenience store machines. Here's what most people don't know. These aren't just slightly worse than casino slots. The difference is dramatic, and the math will surprise you. When you're at a major casino, slot machines typically pay back somewhere between 90% and 97% of what's put into them over time. That's called the RTP, return to player. It's the percentage that comes back to all players combined over thousands and thousands of spins. But here's where it gets interesting. Airport slots typically offer a lower return-to-player rate than their casino-situated counterparts. Why? Because they have a captive audience. You're waiting for a flight, you've got time to kill, and there aren't other casinos nearby to compete with them. Think about it from a business perspective. A casino on the Las Vegas Strip has to compete with dozens of other casinos within walking distance. If their slots are too tight, players go next door. But an airport? You can't exactly walk to another airport. I talked to a retired slot attendant who worked at both airport locations and major casinos. She told me something that opened my eyes. But I'll share that story in just a minute when we talk about progressive jackpots. The same logic applies to convenience stores, gas stations, and bars. These aren't destination gambling locations. They're impulse gambling. You're there for something else: cigarettes, gas, a drink, and the machine is just sitting there tempting you. Now, does this mean you'll never win on these machines? Of course not. Someone wins every day. But your entertainment dollar won't last as long, and that's what smart players care about. Pro player move. If you're at the airport with 30 minutes before your flight, experienced players skip the slots and grab a nice meal or a magazine instead. Save your gambling budget for the real casino where the competition keeps the payout rates better. Let me know in the comments. Have you ever played an airport or bar slot just to pass time? And did you notice how fast your money disappeared? Machine type number 2, progressive jackpot machines. Now we get to a controversial one: progressive jackpot machines. These are the ones with the big digital displays showing jackpots climbing into the hundreds of thousands or even millions. Before you think I'm saying never play these, hold on. There's more to this story, and understanding it will change how you think about these machines entirely. Progressive jackpots work by taking a small percentage of every bet from every player and adding it to a growing jackpot. Sounds great, right? Someone's going to win that money eventually. But here's what the flashing lights don't tell you. Because of the extra contribution to the jackpot funds, progressive slots tend to have slightly lower return-to-player percentages. In other words, to build that massive jackpot, the machine has to pay out less on regular spins. Let me put this in real terms. Say you've got $100 to play with today. On a regular slot machine with a 95% RTP, you might get enough spins and small wins to play for 2 or 3 hours. On a progressive jackpot machine with a 92% RTP, that same $100 might only last you an hour and a half. Now here's where it gets really interesting, and this is what that slot attendant told me. The bigger the jackpot grows, the lower the odds of winning it become. It's not like the lottery where bigger prizes are due. The math doesn't work that way. So, should you never play progressive jackpots? Here's my honest answer. If that big jackpot is what makes gambling exciting for you, and you understand you're paying for that dream with lower regular payouts, then play them and enjoy. There's nothing wrong with that choice when you make it with your eyes open. But experienced players who want their money to last longer, they stick to regular machines because they know they'll get more playing time for their dollar. Would you rather chase a $1 million jackpot or double your playtime on a smaller machine? Pro player move. If you love progressives, standalone progressives offer better odds with smaller jackpots, while wide area progressives offer the potential for enormous wins, albeit with lower chances. The small standalone progressives are a better compromise. You get the excitement of a growing jackpot without sacrificing as much on the regular spins. Machine type number 3. Machines right by the casino entrance. Let's talk about location. Location. Because where a machine sits in the casino tells you a lot about how it's programmed. Walk into any major casino and you'll see rows of flashy, exciting-looking machines right near the entrance. They're loud, they're bright, and they seem to be paying out constantly. But experienced players walk right past them. Why? Because those machines are designed to be attractive to people just walking by. Think about the casino's strategy for a moment. They want people walking through the lobby or the shopping areas to hear slot machines paying out. It creates excitement, draws people in, makes them think, wow, people are winning here. But here's the thing, those machines near the entrances and high traffic areas don't need to pay out as much overall because they're getting constant play from passers-by. They're not competing for loyal players, they're catching impulse players. A casino host once told me something off the record, and this changed how I look at slot machine placement forever. The machines that pay the best, the ones with better RTPs, are usually placed deeper in the casino, in quieter areas where they need to attract and keep regular players. Think about it. If you're a casino, you want your regular players to feel like they're getting good value. So you place the better machines in the spots where regulars like to play. Now, I'm not saying you should only play in dark corners of the casino. But understanding this geography helps you make smarter choices. When you walk into a casino, do you go for the flashy machines near the door or head straight to the quiet back areas? Let me know in the comments. Pro player move. Walk past those entrance machines. Head deeper into the casino where it's a bit quieter. Those machines in the less flashy areas? That's where experienced players often find better value. Look for the sections where you see regular players, locals who know the casino well. They've usually figured out where the better machines are. Machine type number 4. Branded and licensed theme machines. Have you seen those amazing slot machines themed after popular TV shows, movies, or music stars? They look incredible, sound fantastic, and they're incredibly tempting. But here's something most players don't realize. Someone has to pay for those licensing fees, and it's not the casino eating that cost. Let me explain how this works. When a slot machine manufacturer wants to create a game based on a popular brand, let's say a famous TV show or a music legend, they have to pay substantial licensing fees to use that intellectual property. We're talking millions of dollars in many cases. That money has to come from somewhere. And where does it come from? The RTP, the return to player percentage. Those branded machines often have slightly lower payout percentages to cover those expensive licensing fees. Now, the difference might only be a few percentage points, but over hours of play, that adds up. You might be looking at 92% RTP on a branded machine versus 95% on a similar unbranded machine. I have a friend who's been playing slots for 25 years. She calls these pretty tax machines. You're paying extra for the fancy theme and exciting graphics. Does this mean they're bad machines? Not at all. If you love that TV show or that music, and the theme makes the experience more fun for you, then that's absolutely worth it. Entertainment value is what matters, but if your goal is to make your money last as long as possible, experienced players often skip the big-name branded machines and look for quality non-branded games that don't have to pay those licensing fees. Be honest, have you ever picked a slot just because it had your favorite TV show or musician on it? Pro player move. If you really want to try that branded machine because it looks fun, set aside a small portion of your budget just for that, maybe $20 or $30. Enjoy the theme, have fun with it, but do most of your serious playing on machines without the celebrity surcharge. Machine type number 5, penny slots, despite what you might think. Now this one surprises a lot of people. Penny slots seem like the perfect choice. Low risk, right? You can play forever on a small budget, can't you? Not exactly, and here's why experienced players are often cautious about them. First, Let's talk about how modern penny slots actually work. They're called penny slots, but you're rarely betting just one penny. Most penny slots require you to bet on multiple lines, often 25, 50, even 100 lines at once. So what feels like a small bet is actually much larger than you think. You sit down thinking, I'll just play a penny per line on 50 lines. That's only 50 cents a spin. But then you realize the game requires 2 credits per line. So now you're betting $1 per spin. That's not penny slots. That's dollar slots disguised as penny slots. Let me share a real example from someone I know. My neighbor used to love penny slots. She'd sit down with $50 thinking she'd play for hours. She was confused why her money disappeared so fast. When we looked at the machine together, she was actually betting $2 per spin without realizing it. At that rate, $50 only gives you 20 spins if you don't win anything back. But here's the other issue with penny slots. Penny and nickel slots offer a lower payout percentage compared to higher denomination machines. Why? Because the casino knows they get massive volume on penny slots. People play them constantly. The machines are always busy, so the casino can set the RTP a bit lower and still keep them full of players. Now, compare that to $1 or $5 slots. Those machines need to be more competitive because players are more selective. They pay better percentages to attract and keep players. What's the smallest bet that ever gave you a big win, and did it come from a penny slot or something higher? Pro player move. If you prefer lower risk play, consider quarter slots or 50-cent slots instead of pennies. The bet per spin is still manageable, but the RTP is often better. And always check what your actual bet per spin is before you start playing. That max bet button can be dangerous if you don't know what you're actually betting. Machine type number 6, the hot machine that just paid out. This one is about player psychology more than the machine itself, but it's so important that experienced players never fall for it. You're walking through the casino and you see someone hit a jackpot. They cash out, leave the machine, and you think, that machine is hot. I should play it next. Stop right there. This is one of the most common mistakes I see, and it's based on a complete misunderstanding of how slot machines work. Here's the truth. Slot machines use something called a random number generator, RNG. Every single spin is completely independent of the previous spin. The machine doesn't remember who just played it or what it just paid out. Thinking a machine is hot or due is what's called the gambler's fallacy. The machine has no memory. It doesn't get hot or cold. Each spin has the exact same odds as the previous spin and the next spin. I watched this play out just last month. A gentleman hit a nice $800 win on a machine. He cashed out and left. Immediately, 3 people rushed over to play that machine, thinking it was hot. I sat nearby and watched for about 20 minutes. All 3 people put in $100 each and didn't hit anything significant. That machine wasn't hot. It was just lucky for one person at one moment. In fact, here's something counterintuitive. A machine that just paid out a big jackpot is in the exact same state as any other machine in the casino. It's not more likely or less likely to pay out again. The RNG doesn't care what just happened. Do you believe in hot machines? Or do you think every spin is pure luck? Pro player move. Choose your machine based on factors that actually matter. Denomination, theme you enjoy, comfortable seating, good location, not based on what the machine just did for the previous player. Experienced players know that hot machines are a myth, and they don't waste time chasing them. Machine type number 7, machines you don't understand. This last one might seem obvious, but it's so important that I see people ignore it every single day. The worst slot machine you can possibly play is one where you don't understand how it works, how the bonus rounds trigger, what the symbols mean, how the payouts are calculated. And this isn't about being smart or experienced. It's about giving yourself the best chance to have fun and make good decisions. Modern slot machines are complex. They have bonus rounds, free spins, multipliers, scatter symbols, wild symbols, and sometimes multiple levels of progressive features. If you don't understand what you're looking for or how to trigger the good features, you're flying blind. Let me tell you about something I witnessed that really drove this home. A woman was playing a machine with a complex bonus structure. She was betting minimum amounts, and I watched her trigger the bonus round 3 times in 30 minutes. But because she didn't understand that the bonus round paid better with higher bets, she was getting tiny payouts from what should have been exciting moments. She left disappointed, thinking the machine was terrible, but she just didn't understand how to play it properly. Here's what experienced players do differently. Before they put any real money in, they watch someone else play for a few minutes. Or they ask the slot attendant to explain how the bonus features work. Or they play the demo version online first to understand the mechanics. There's no shame in learning before playing. In fact, it's smart. You wouldn't play poker without understanding the rules, right? Why should slots be different? Have you ever realized halfway through a game that you had no idea what the symbols even meant? Pro player. Move. When you see a machine that looks interesting, take 2 minutes to read the pay table. Press that Info or Help button and look at how the bonus rounds work. Understanding what you're playing makes it more fun and helps you make better betting decisions. And if something seems confusing, ask a slot attendant. They're there to help, and they want you to have a good experience. The bigger picture: smart playing versus avoiding. Now let's zoom out for a moment and talk about what all of this really means. This isn't about being afraid of certain machines. It's about being an informed player who makes conscious choices. Here's the mindset shift that changes everything. You can play any machine in any casino and have a great time if you go in with the right expectations. The key is understanding the trade-offs. Want to play that big progressive jackpot machine? Go for it. But know that your money might not last as long as it would on a regular machine. Love that branded machine with your favorite TV show? Absolutely play it. Just understand you're paying a bit extra for that entertainment value. The machines experienced players avoid aren't bad machines. They're just machines where you're getting less bang for your buck in terms of extended playing time. Remember, the goal of gambling should always be entertainment first. You're paying for fun, excitement, and a good time. Any money you win is a bonus on top of that entertainment value. When you understand which machines give you more playing time for your money, you can make better choices about where to spend your entertainment budget. Let's wrap this up with a clear action plan you can use on your very next casino visit. Here's what I want you to remember. Being a smart player doesn't mean being scared to play. It means playing with knowledge and intention. You're a smart player. Checklist: skip the airport and convenience store machines. Wait for the real casino. Understand that progressive jackpots trade regular payouts for that big dream. Walk past those entrance machines and head deeper into the casino. Know that branded machines charge a pretty tax for famous names. Watch out for penny slots that aren't really penny bets. Don't chase hot machines. Every spin is random. Never play a machine you don't understand. But here's what I want you to remember most of all. These aren't rules, they're guidelines. If playing that TV-themed progressive jackpot penny slot at the casino entrance makes you happy, then play it and enjoy every minute. The goal is to have fun, not to follow someone else's rules. The difference is that now you're making an informed choice. You know what you're getting and you're okay with it. That's smart playing. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these surprised you the most? Have you been playing any of these machines without realizing what made them different? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one, and I love hearing your experiences. And if you found this helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I've got more videos coming that will help you get more enjoyment out of your casino visits, stretch your entertainment dollar, and play smarter. Remember, the house always has an edge, but informed players always have more fun. Gambling is a risk, so never bet anything you can't afford to lose. If you need help, reach out to a gambling support hotline. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the slots. Just maybe not at the airport ones.